Okay, let's go.
So, what do you really think of the education system in the UK?
So when
Yeah,
you
but
when you
sorry. If you're in the lowest set of maths, bro, I don't think it was gonna count for us. You know what I mean?
yeah, but the teacher you how to.
I don't
Our education system is like a fish's ability to climb a tree.
They sell you the dream, but then that piece of paper counts for nothing if you've got no experience at the end of it. So it's a catch-22, isn't it? Because you're going to look for jobs. You're going to interviews. I don't blame the teachers.
No,
I don't blame
it's
the
the national
teachers at all.
curriculum.
Yeah.
They
It's the
have to
actual
follow it.
like now they're starting to teach you about like LGBTQ, HDMI, bro, like all
PS5, bro. PS5, bro.
All they're teaching that stuff. And like why?
Yeah, you're already born, bro. What do you mean? You still got a choice?
It's
You're a
like
male
treating-
or a female.
Treating like it's a close eyes. Today you're lodged.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so the more you know, the better.
I was, bro, from personal experience, yeah. They had aspirations of me becoming a doctor.
Uncle, if you're watching this, we're sorry.
Bro. Let's get ready to rumble.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of Room 404. I'm AK.
I'm Matty.
I'm T.
I'm Ace.
And we are the outliers.
Oh, yes.
So another episode. We've got a few things that we want to discuss and share our opinions, humble opinions on. If you're still watching and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, you know the ones. So the topic that we're starting off was the education system in the UK. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what's the question that you had?
So, what do you really think of the education system in the UK? Is it helping us, or is it just stress and exams? Why are you laughing, man?
He made it through, man. He made it through. Just
You
about.
get me?
Just about. I think the education system in the UK is just a sham, bruv. It's a scam
It's flawed as well, man.
in many ways.
Yeah, 100%.
In many ways. I think it's just another money-making scheme for the government. Because when we went to uni, the fees was $3,000.
So where are we starting from, though?
Did we go uni?
Okay, when we went to uni.
So you got scammed at least.
How many years of college? You might as well have been at uni.
A year and a half, cause that's
Plus
it.
what?
Yeah, no, a year and a half. Got kicked out of both, but
What do you say?
So
Sorry.
we started, when you say education system, are you on about uni onwards? Not.
No, the whole
The whole, yeah,
education
yeah.
system, because it starts from when you go nursery, don't you?
Yeah.
And they start instilling certain things in your brain from a young age anyway about the education system, where they make you believe that getting through the education system, going through college, going to university, getting that piece of paper at the end of it, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Without that, there's nothing. You know, you're a
you'll
failure.
you'll not get a job out in the real world or whatnot. You know what I mean? But the important things they don't teach you in school.
What kind of important things? would you
Important
say?
things like, you know, so in regards to money management, big thing. I think that should be something that they should teach at school as well. In high school, not obviously primary school, high school onwards, they should teach you that into the real world. You know, how to look after your finances. And then, bro, stuff like, they teach you stuff like algebra, bro. I don't think to this day I've used algebra.
Yeah, but that's not for you to
no,
say.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Algebra goes a long way if, you know, like
Yeah,
architect and all of that. Like, they
Yeah,
use
yeah,
algebra.
Oh yeah,
you know.
architects, bro.
Yeah, but there are people that are going to be
Flipping-
architects, bro.
Bro.
No, there's certain things that
Plus algebra is a Muslim come up with algebra, so there's a.
If you don't know, now you know.
It's useful.
I don't know why they did that, but anyway.
There's a lot that goes behind algebra.
Exactly.
We're not. So
Sorry. If you're in the lowest set of maths, bro, I don't think it was gonna count for us. You know what I mean?
yeah, but the teacher
I
you how
wasn't
to.
at the
I don't know. Like, what's 2 + 2?
Can you do tell us more?
That's
How's,
all- that's
how's
all I
life
need.
like in the Louis set?
Bro, it was calm, you know.
Yeah.
Like, turning up late, not bothering going to sleep is okay.
What algebra did you learn? A for under, B for
No,
Bakri.
I learned nothing, bro. I don't understand algebra and all of that, bro. Like,
Yeah, no,
nothing like that.
and that's to each to their own, any, and that's I think that brings us on to another point where it's not catered for individuals based on individuals' knowledge or their way of understanding. The way they teach is the same for a class of 20, for a class of 30, where you've got a bunch of different personalities, different characters, people who understand at different levels, different speed, who have learning their way of learning is different to another individual. So it's not catered for certain people. It's only catered for it's only catered for certain
Bro.
individuals. Innit?
All you do is laugh.
You don't leave me hungry, man. Yeah, anyway.
It's like they say, any our education system is like a fish's ability to climb a tree.
Yeah.
So that's what they say. Innit? And
What's that?
A fish's ability to climb a tree.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Can you climb a tree?
Flipping born monkey, bro. Gone it.
You need to get poked in the eyes, man.
Yeah, you got poked in the bum.
I'm not cutting any of this out. All of this is
This behavior was
but
when
coming
it's
back
Jubal.
onto the topic and like I was saying, like when we went to university, the fees for uni was about $3,000. Now it's, I think it's still at $9,000, but it went
Yeah,
up to
tripled,
$9,000.
yeah.
Well, like they tripled it. That's crazy. Like you what you're trying to do is you're pushing to young children. You're pushing education in their face. You're saying that they need to achieve a degree to achieve anything in life, and then you're also saying, well, by the time you've got that degree, you're going to be in debt anyway. So, but even that, like, there's people that start from nothing that can achieve great things in life without having to go through the education system, because the things that they learn that come in handy are from life, not from books. The books or book, as Southerners like to say. The books teach you core principles, but not things that you can put into action.
Yeah. Day-to-day, life-to-life skills. Because there's only so much you could pick up in a classroom because it's a controlled environment. Whereas
Definitely.
in real life, obviously, you're exposed to a lot more.
And like he was saying, there's certain things like money management. Like even when you get to university stage, like obviously you mentioned that in high school, even when you get to the university stage, you're not taught that, are you? You have to experience it yourself on a month-to-month basis, where you're living off a certain budget, which I think for university, I think the flip side of university is if you move away from your house and go somewhere to live in the campus, I think you're going to experience and learn a lot more from that independence than you will from the education that you're going to receive from there, because you meet people from different backgrounds, different education, all of that, and you've left your comfort zone to go. My phone's vibrating, and that's why I lost my train of thought. But like that's where you learn things in it. Like you've left your comfortability, your house, your family, and you've gone to live independently, and you start living on a budget. And the first couple of months, 6 months, maybe the first year, and like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel every month, aren't you? Just to try and get by. So that, I think, teaches you a lot more than the actual education system itself.
Well, that's life, though. Life should teach you that whether you go into studying or not, because you're going to go through hard times regardless.
So is that not part of the education system, what do you say? Like going out and
That's
experiencing that independence?
Each individual has like different experience with that, and not everyone has to go through that, you know, in life as well. You know, we've experienced that without going to uni. So, yeah, that's got nothing really to do with the education system.
Yeah.
I want to say.
What I would say is with the education system, it's one thing that a lot of people will go through. I'm not saying everyone, but you'll spend 18, 20 years, obviously in the education system, and then at the end of it, you're promised, or you like to think that you're gonna get something out of it, where you like, this is the career you could go into, and then when it actually comes to getting into that career, they're like, hang on, you need experience first.
Yeah.
Then no one will actually give you that experience.
It's catch-22, isn't it? Because
Pretty much, yeah.
because that's what I was saying, like, they instill certain things to you. That,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
piece of paper is the most important thing
They sell
at
you
the
the
end of
dream.
it. Sorry?
They sell you the dream.
Yeah.
Essentially. That's it.
They try, yeah, exactly. They sell
It's
you the
not-
dream,
yeah.
but then that piece of paper counts for nothing if you've got no experience at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
it. So it's a catch-22, isn't it? Because you're going to look for jobs. You're going to interviews, and the interviews, when you get to interview stage, they say to you, okay, well done, you've got a first class degree in whatever it is that you've got a degree on. But sorry, we're looking for someone with 1-2 years experience. Well, if uni had told us that, or if the education system had told us that, then maybe we would have taken a break
Yeah,
in
yeah.
university, taken that gap year, or maybe taken the year out before going into university
Yeah.
to get that experience before going on to finish the degree. Any
It's not to say that obviously it applies to everyone, because there is some people out there that obviously are lucky enough to kind of get a job straight away. But a lot of people in this day and age, they'll use their skills in one degree to kind of go into another sector, because there is no jobs in that.
Yeah.
That's becoming a lot more common now as well, where they've got transferable skills.
but do you need a degree?
No, of course not.
No chance.
It's
no chance.
No. Don't get me wrong. You pick up a lot of skills that you could use into different sectors, and obviously you may not have otherwise got. But then you don't necessarily need a degree to kind of make it into something as well. And I think this.
But when you
day
say
and age-
skills, are you talking about the stuff that they teach you in the academia, or in general?
Like academically, they'll teach you obviously a certain like knowledge or theories that you can obviously transfer into like a different kind of line of work or different field.
Like algebra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the architects. But,
X equals YZ.
X equals Y Z.
why you in the bottom?
Sorry, carry on.
But yeah, no, I don't think you necessarily need a degree to kind of make it. But it's a lot more. To be fair, now it's a lot more common that people are obviously starting new ventures or going into like different fields or sectors without a degree. Whereas before, give it about 10, 15 years ago, it was like be all, end all. You need a degree to make it in life.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with that as well. But do you think like is the education system like, so it's the teachers and whatnot putting that on you, telling you that dream, or does that come from families as well, from parents?
I think teachers they have like, what do you call it? A whole
Career path.
like they have like a curriculum in it
Yeah.
that their board, the school, the exam boards and
Yeah.
all that, they want them to be teaching. So when they pushing towards that, I don't blame the teachers.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
blame
it's
the
the national
teachers at all.
curriculum,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
the
have to
actual
follow it.
curriculum that because they're saying, like, even now they're starting teaching. I know you mentioned about the family thing, which
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
come
no,
back
no.
to, but like now they started teaching about like LGBTQ,
Yeah.
HDMI, bruv, like all
PS5,
that,
bro.
PS5, bro.
all they're teaching that stuff. And like, why?
Yeah.
Like you're it's true though, innit?
We're laughing at the PS5 thing, bro.
No, but it's like it's true. And like, why are you teaching that, like, rather than life stuff that
I've-
would come in handy? Any
I was speaking to someone not long ago, and they goes like they've pulled their kids out of school, and they teach them online studies because of that. They do the education system online. They pay a certain amount per year. He goes, I'd rather do that than let my kids go to these schools, and they teach them about the PS5 things. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a white person as well. That's a white person saying that. He wasn't even an app now.
Yeah, because there's even people that like the white people you're on about, and the African community is similar, South Asian. They don't want certain things to be forced on their kids. The kids need to have that choice that they can be made. But when you start teaching them certain things, they, as young people, as young kids, their mind works in such a way that they like to question a lot of things.
Yeah,
You're making them question their bloody gender, bro.
that's
You're
it.
just
What are you
confusing the
doing?
kids.
They decorate it like that though, innit? They
Yeah.
say to him like, look, oh, you've got a choice of what gender you want to be. Bro, you're already born, you dickheads. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're already born, bro. What do you mean? You still got a choice.
It's
You're
like
a
they
male
treat
or a female.
treat
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like it's a close eyes. Today you're lodged.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid, man.
Yeah, the facts really like, and that's the point that we're making about the curriculum. So it's not the teachers' at fault, because you still need an education system. You still need that education, like the basics in it. Like you say, like algebra, that's basics in it. Maths.
That's not basics, bro. Algebra is not basics. Don't give me none of that. Algebra is basics. Not used it to this day, bro. You know what I mean? Algebra is basics. No chance, bro.
Chal, you're right there. The
I-
multiplications, the additions, and the subtractions.
That's it, man. That's what you need.
The basics, science, even like science, English. I think that's certain things that you should know.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so the more you know, the better. You know, in
100%.
life, and whether that's a career path or not.
I'm not even looking at him, bro.
Whether it's a career path or not, you know, the more knowledge you have,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's surely going to be beneficial somewhere down the line. So,
Yeah, and what you were saying was what were you saying about? Was it pressure that you said?
Pressure from
Families.
I think the education, going into education, you know, to get a degree and everything like that, I think it comes from families, from parents, especially in the South Asian community.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, like I think parents, they think it's the be all end all.
Do you
kind of
think
thing.
it's-
So they think like, you know, so the marriage and everything, in order to attain a good marriage, attain a good partner, you have to have a good level of education.
Do you think it's that, or do you think it's the fact that certain parents, like our parents, for example, had to see a lot of struggle when they came over to the UK? So do you think that's because of the fact that when they came, they didn't have an option or choices of what jobs, what career paths they can take, and they were forced into doing certain things to be able to provide for their families? So in their heads, it was, if our kids have that education, they'll go and get the degree, they'll have a better life, they'll have more opportunities
Yeah.
than what we had.
Yeah, I think for a lot of the parents or older generation, I think that is the case, because they were restricted in what they could actually achieve and what fields they can actually go into, what they want to do. So for some parents, it may be a case where what they've not been able to do themselves, they'll then be like, this is a good field. And then that kind of, their children will kind of take that up. Others will be like, because they see the potential of a field or a different sector, they'll be like, if you put your mind to it, this is the potential you could have. So they want the best for them, obviously.
Yeah,
Whereas the other side of that is obviously some will just do it to kind of use it as that kind of ego as such, or be like, yo, my son's this, my daughter's
Mistakes.
this.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. You know what I mean? The other, what you mentioned beforehand, spot on as well. Like, obviously, our parents came to this country with nothing as well, so they've had to graft everything like that. They've seen the hard times, and they didn't want their kids to go through that as well. You know what I mean?
So do you think that still continues now? Do you think that's fair to have that sort of, because it's like what do you say, it's pressure
Yeah,
on
it's
the
definitely
child
pressure. Yeah.
to obtain that sort of education system?
Yeah. I was, bro, from personal experience, yeah. They had aspirations of me becoming a doctor.
Uncle, if you're watching this, we're sorry.
Bro, it's like I knew it's never gonna happen, man. I knew it's never gonna happen. I was never really interested in education anyway, I'll be honest with you. For me, it was all about sports. Yeah,
But then-
that's what I was into.
Coming on to sports, right? Do you think when we were growing up, because there was this thing about the education system, that you have to go through the education system and you have to follow the process and get that degree to have opportunities, do you think there's a lot of people in the South Asian community that couldn't pursue sports because of that?
Yeah.
Because you have to start a sport at a young age to
Yeah.
become professional. And there's certain sports where you might be able to get away, like anti-Joshua and boxing started later than what majority of the boxers will start, where they start at 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. But there's other sports like football. You have to be playing 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
cricket 6, 7. You know what I mean? You have to have started at a young age to
Yeah.
be able to develop the skills, the basic skills, to be then go on from there to improve. So do you think that opportunity for our age group, I would say, the people in their 30s and the 20s, do you think that opportunity wasn't there? Do you think if you had that opportunity, you would have probably... Because you were good.
You 100%.
You were good. Like,
Yeah,
we say
100%.
you were good. And
Yeah.
there's other people. Taka is another one where there's certain people that were good at a young age based on our opinion. But they never got that opportunity to go and pursue that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you probably didn't have that opportunity. Do you think if you had the opportunity, you would go out and
100%. I would have done whatever I could to try to get into that.
football?
Yeah, 100%.
But then that's another side to it. Say even if you were given the time and obviously opportunity and you took it up, do you think Asians or South Asians as a
Would
You-
succeed.
basically
Yeah.
in football? 'Cause
Maybe
obviously-
not in this country, but if you've got the backing, then surely you could go abroad.
But then it's obviously getting scouted in this country to kind of get exposure abroad.
no, but
Back then, though, there was none of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
you can say, yeah, you can go
Yeah,
abroad,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can do this, you know. But back when we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
growing
yeah.
up, it
was
wasn't.
no
You had to
social
make it
media
So
Yeah,
obviously
easy.
yeah.
football
anything like
abroad
that, yeah.
wasn't there at
Yeah.
that, like for
It was
South
never-
Asians anyway.
Yeah, it was never really an option. You had to make it here. But the thing is with football as well, it's almost like putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
You know, so education is still important. You know, but with our parents, I think there was no opportunity in both. It was just studies, just the academic side.
it was
Yeah.
this or
You know,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
It's this or you failed in life.
basically, yeah. So
Is that a fair thing to say though?
No.
Because
Straight up.
because
they didn't know any better though, innit? They didn't know. Our parents weren't into football. They weren't into sports like that.
That's
know what I
that's the
mean?
thing.
To-
So I think it's circumstantial. In terms of some parents, they will kind of put their why is making one. They'll obviously push more. Like even 15, 20 years ago, there'll be some parents that were pushing their kids to kind of achieve more with sports because they would have a passion towards sports. They'd have time to commit to it. Not every parent obviously would have that time or kind of dedication to or
Yeah.
passion for sport anyway. So it's more so might be a case where what they feel like this would be the best option for my like kid at that point, they'll obviously show that passion towards their children.
because you see it a lot more now.
Yeah.
Where people would like nowadays South Asian community, the parents they encourage their children to take part in sports. Not to pursue it, like, but at a young age they'll put them into like football, cricket, boxing, MMA, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. They'll put them into that, and then obviously if they are good at it and they want to pursue it, the families are supporting them to carry on doing that without leaving the education system. Obviously, because in this country legally you have to stay in the education system anyway till I think it's now 18 now. So there's no ifs and buts about that anyway. But do you think that leniency comes from the fact that now that we're discussing about it, we're seeing that maybe the approach of this is the be all kind of thing, the education system is not. It was actually just a fake stuff, eh?
I mean,
It's a
fake
lie.
is a bit harsh, isn't it? But I think nowadays, I think fake is a bit harsh. Obviously, there's always good in education.
No, 100%.
Yeah, but
No, but what I'm saying is fakeness. What I say is, well, sorry, you carry on and then I'll ask you a question. Finish what you were saying.
yeah. So I was going with more like basically parents nowadays. I think they are living their life through their kids. If you know what I mean. So when you were on about that, I was thinking, you know, that's what people do now. We didn't have the opportunity. You know, people in our generation.
Yeah.
They always what they wanted, and now they're doing that through their kids.
Giving
So
them the opportunity.
What they never had. And it's probably the other way now. It's like you're almost forcing your kids to do something that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah,
They might not want to do it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I
That-
think the
that could
tables
be-
have slightly turned, and you know people are pursuing the sports side more than the academic now.
So
But yeah, what you
my question to you based on that is like, if you like tomorrow, inshallah, when you have kids or your nephews and nieces,
tomorrow.
You know what I mean. In the future, man. In the near future.
No, carry on.
Tomorrow never comes, you know that.
Shit, I'm not even good.
In the future, inshallah, if you have kids, or even with your nephews and nieces, if you have a say in it, would you advise them to be pursuing education or to pursue what they want to if they are into sports and stuff, like to pursue that? What would you be pushing them towards? Not forcing, but directing.
I think you gotta tell them try both and whatever they're strong at, whatever they feel more comfortable in. If they're more comfortable doing sports and they think that's their stronger, subject or whatever, pursue that. And vice versa if it's academic
It's
side.
like academically, it's
Yeah.
like knowledge ain't gonna harm you, bro. All it's
Hundred-
gonna do
yeah.
is give you power anyway.
Plus
Like,
each
even if
child-
you don't utilize it on a day to day,
Yeah.
having that knowledge is gonna come to a point or a
Definitely.
situation in life where you will make use of that anyway, even if it's not on a regular basis. So I think it would go down to obviously try both anyway, but then try all you can academically as well.
Yeah, plus each child is different as well. So you need to know, like, is that child capable of going far in the education system or sports or anything else? It doesn't have to be them two things. Or anything else, you gotta know, like, has he got the brains for certain
or the
things?
ability, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So
So
at
sometimes
what
they
age-
have to learn the harsh truth as well at a pretty young age. They
Yeah.
might enjoy something, they might think they're good, but in reality,
yeah.
this kid is not going to make it. He's just going to get his
Water
heart broken.
boy.
Yeah.
He's just going to get his heart broken later
You
on.
are a failure.
So at what age would you say, like, parents should probably have a look and direct them towards one or the other based on their abilities that they've seen?
High
Whether
school.
it's
I think when they're about to leave high school, going into college,
I
they
think
gotta sort
that's
of-
that
that-
on
they
a
gotta-
sporting point of view, it's too late. Because obviously,
at
if
that
you,
point, it's
yeah, because if you're trying obviously to make it in a certain sport, you need to give extra time whilst they're young to kind of, because if you're going, if you're
No,
just
but
gonna,
that's when they got to pick. So they're already pursuing the
obviously,
sport up until then.
once-
It's like, okay, you're 15, 16, you've not been scouted, nothing's happened. Okay, time to, that's why I said you got to pursue both up until you're 15, 16, and then make a
if
choice.
they're actively like being training, coaching,
I'd
going
say
all out, then
around about
obviously-
like year 7, year 8, that kind of time frame.
how
I
old is
think
that?
that's
Is that
pretty young,
12
man.
to 11, 12?
Bro,
I
tackle
think that's a bit
good
early.
for
That's
football.
early because you
Yeah.
haven't even started no exams. You don't even know where you sit.
Yeah.
Like
No, but
obviously,
I wouldn't say like,
academically.
look, this is the path that, or you know what, you're shit. Yeah, but I'd say to them, like, look, is this something that you really want? I'd have that talk with them, but then by the end of high school,
They got to pick.
bro, like
Like,
if
you
you're
listen-
still diabolical, like, you know what I mean?
Not even that, but if you feel like your child's not good enough, they might be good around their friends group or whatever, but to make it, you got to be something like special.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So at that point, you got to say to them, look, carry on doing it as a hobby, but you need to do something else as well, because
Yeah.
this might not happen. It still can. You never know, but they got to also do something else.
Because it could be any sports anyway. We're talking about any
Yeah, it
sports,
don't have to
really.
be football,
Not just
yeah.
talking about football, just boxing, people like taking up cricket, MMA. There's a lot in it. I think
Back then, boxing and MMA wasn't that relevant, to be fair with
Boxing
you.
was just coming in when
Yeah, and then
But it is
MMA
now,
wasn't. Yeah, now
Now
it is, yeah.
Every
it
kid
is
got-
now. And I think now as well, I've seen some parents do with their children is they send them boxing more for discipline. Not
Yeah.
to try to get them into like be a boxer or something. It's to teach them discipline.
keep them off the streets. Kind
It's
of
the
thing.
same
Yeah.
thing as you're saying. Education is there's always a positive to it. It's same with, sports as well. There's
yeah.
always that positive, whether they make it as a career or not. There's always that positive side. Boxing teaches discipline, fitness, all of that. So
self-defense is
they would
there's
always
aspects to it
live a
anyway,
healthy
yeah.
lifestyle as well, and then they could do that as well as pursuing a career in something else. So it just keep your options open up until about 15, 16. But once you leave high school, and then after that, you got to make a choice.
he's such a child here. Bro.
Why
He's
is
not
he
a child
laughing?
here. He looks at somebody and he starts laughing.
Why is he laughing?
Bro, like we're talking
Guys,
about children.
The guy's
bro. You are the big
staring
child
into
here.
space, bro, and then
He's
like,
listening to the
he's-
conversation,
He's,
bro.
he's about to say something, and then he just
No, I
shuts
wasn't.
up,
I was chewing, bro.
I thought he was gonna say something.
This is
as
what I'm
well.
saying,
No, I was
man.
Yeah, but that wasn't something to laugh about, man.
Bro, it's that facial expression, man. That's
Bro.
too funny, man.
Okay, sorry.
You'll grow, man.
Now go on.
No,
But
Anything else?
yeah, no, I mean that's right, anymore. So do you think now the parents, they don't have that sort of they don't put that any sort of pressure on their children? Laugh, man. They ain't out of his
Just
system.
give him you talk, because when you're talking, at least you're not doing the unnecessary laugh. Go on. Go on.
Dick, you'll carry on, man. It's out of the system now. You'll fix up.
So what I was saying was,
Stop poking him, man.
do you think parents nowadays don't have that sort of pressure on their children
To direct it towards academics only.
just to be successful in general? Because what we were saying, like our parents or in the South Asian community, a lot of it is success is defined by that degree, that piece of paper that you
Yeah.
got at the end of you. Like you were saying, it leads to
Yeah.
opportunities and marriage proposals and all that sort of stuff that you were just saying. Do you think that nowadays the parents they don't have that kind of, they don't put that kind of sort of pressure on their?
I think they still do. I've seen it as well. They still
It's a
do.
mix, ain't it?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say.
yeah. They still do that. There is still that thing of, you need to get a good level of education and stuff like that. But again, there's a mix of it. There's the other aspect, like, it is what it is kind of thing.
Some are doing it for the right purpose.
Yeah,
Others
yeah.
are like using it as a weapon when it comes to marriage talks. Like, yo,
Yeah.
my son's a doctor. What you going to bring to the table?
Exactly. Like,
Is that
it's-
fair though?
No. And they involve that in marriage as well, the marriage talks, like Ace just said, flipping, my son's a doctor. And let's just say she's only got like a college education. You ain't good enough for my son.
Because stature is defined by educations.
Yeah.
Like our status is higher than your status, like because one's a doctor
Yeah,
and the other one
exactly.
hasn't got.
What if it's the other way around?
but
the
then-
woman's the doctor, and the guy's got the.
She's fired, bro. MBBS tomorrow. You know what I mean?
This guy, man, he's not talking about you. He's talking in general.
I think a lot of people are saying the same because
every time he sees an opportunity, bro. But yeah, like it's still the same, innit? Because parents would still say our daughter is more successful than you because she's got a job here or she's graduated with being a doctor and stuff. They would say the same, would they not? Like you have to be level on her level.
Is that right or wrong?
It's wrong, I'd say. Because let's just say, like, the woman's got a good education, yeah? The guy hasn't. Like, let's just say he's been in college and that's it, but then he's grafted. He's made something of himself. He's got his own business.
Yeah.
and
What if he
everything like
hasn't?
that. Yeah?
What if he hasn't?
But
That's
then-
the.
It's-
Okay,
Because then he's matching it any. If he's successful, doesn't matter what way.
But then on
What
the
if
flip
It's
side-
woman's-
their choice, man. Leave it to the
Yeah, yeah.
kids, innit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
they,
Because they got to have that connection or mutual understanding
Exactly.
between them.
Yeah.
Themselves.
yeah, like
LGBTQ.
PS5, bro.
ATY, bro.
But yeah, like that's just like leave it up to them, innit? Like for them to decide. But I think you're saying, innit, like the education system, that degree piece of paper that you get at the end of it, is giving you a status, innit, that we are now here, right? So would you say, like, if somebody who hasn't got based on what you were just saying, someone who's got a degree and someone who hasn't, someone who's achieved success in a financial aspect by doing whatever they've done in life, and somebody who's got a degree who's more successful? So somebody who hasn't got a degree but built a business from ground up, did
I
a
think-
couple of
I think
things,
they're
and somebody
both-
who's
No,
got
but
a,
yeah,
They're both successful, but obviously they've taken different paths to get there. But it goes back to that point where certain kind of parents in the community will be like, they'll be like, oh, that piece of paper makes
sorry, cause This guy's breaking the whole set apart, bro.
No, I'm not. That's just something for me to fiddle with. This is useless.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so certain parents will
Used to
obviously.
fit you with little things.
I've not touched you yet.
Oh, I'm not editing none of this out. This is all staying. Carry on.
Kinder eggs full of surprises.
Really back it. Go on, what you saying?
No, I think so. Some parents will obviously still use that piece of paper as.
It's not hold my hand. It's not hold my hand, bro.
Yeah, like, go on, man.
Money is that.
It's on camera, bro.
VAR, man.
Yeah, go on, Ace. What you saying?
Yeah, so saying obviously some parents will still use that. Oh my days!
Yo, this
Oh
guy.
my days, bro.
I'm not doing this on purpose, man. It's just
Why are you leaning on it, man?
I have to, bro, because then I have to, man. Like
So
this is
let's-
what keeps it there.
Let's carry on. Let's finish this and then we'll sort it out after this, innit? So,
Yeah, so I was trying to say, some parents will still use that piece of paper as a weapon, innit? And be like, no, they need, as a minimum, they need someone with a degree, regardless of how successful it is. But then marriage is one of them where you could talk into, like, take it into so many different things. It could be like, people will look at caste, finances, education. There's so many different aspects to it. But then it's the same principle behind all of it. They will do that comparison and be like,
It's a shame, like Dean doesn't get bought into it. You know, when it comes to marriage and stuff like that, they don't look at that aspect. Well,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not saying not everyone doesn't, but majority of the times that doesn't get taken into consideration.
but that's a different topic. We're comparing education here, and we're doing that with where it leads to marriage and stuff. So we're gonna bring it back to the education system. Do you think?
Dean is also part of the
Dean,
education
I was
system.
just gonna say, Dean is
So,
also
Dean
educated.
is
No, but
also
you're
part of
talking
that.
about marriage.
Uh-huh.
You're talking about marriage. We've gone on to the marriage side of things. Innit? That's why I'm saying we bring it back to the topic that we're talking about is education system and family. So Dean is part of education, which
But we, yeah.
which
done about
which
the
then
UK.
was
Yeah.
which brings the question of, do you think parents should be pushing more towards the dean side of education than the worldly?
Nowadays,
Continuing
definitely,
education.
with what's going on around the world nowadays, there should be a lot more focus on Islamic studies for the kids as well.
So do you not think there should be a balance of the two though? Because you still need to survive in the dunya as well, innit?
Yeah,
It's
definitely
always got to be a balance, and the
Yeah,
Dean
yeah.
will tell you to
balance
you know.
everything anyway.
study everything else as well, you know, to pursue a career and all of that as well. So
But like Islamically nowadays, bro, you have to be clued on as well. Like Deen, for kids nowadays, bro, I've seen like it's non-existent.
So
You know what I mean?
when you say dean, right? Because we've grown up going to the masjid and being taught how to read the Quran, how to read namaz and stuff. But that's what we were taught, not the fundamentals of Islam.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like there's certain things that were probably missed out that nowadays there's a lot more of. Do you think that's something that you're on about anyway when you talk about deen education, that they should be taught about the lives of the prophets, how many prophets, how it started, how Islam started? That should be not just how to read the Quran.
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to-
the facts.
Because reading the Quran and understanding the Quran is two different things.
Yeah.
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 I think that when we were young, it was reading, not understanding.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they are, but they do push more to
More towards understanding it as well, yeah.
understanding it. Do you think there's only certain pressure on certain children in the family?
Yeah, I'd say for the eldest child, it's for a parent, they're like the role model for the other kids.
Eldest child, eldest son.
Eldest child. So
I would say eldest son. I would say the eldest son is like a project for the father. So the father will do everything. You know, whatever he wants that kid, like, he will force him to do this, you know, maybe live his own life through the kid, whatnot. And then usually when that fails, you just leave it.
On to the next
then-
one.
No, it leaves notice, and it's like, yeah, I tried.
But is
Then-
that they're trying to live their own life, or they're trying to make
No,
them a
it
better
could
vision?
be. Sometimes it is. Not all the time. You know, sometimes they it's for the best, what they think is best for their kid. But yeah, usually the eldest one is a project. If that goes right, maybe they try again with the next
Yeah.
one. If that fails, then usually it's like, you know what?
But
We
then
tried
what
with one. We
Yeah.
failed.
That's why parents should know like the capabilities as well, like what they're capable of.
But that
Are
comes
they-
afterwards, though, innit?
No,
Yeah,
man.
you
no,
don't know what the
Capabilities,
kid
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Like the kid's 3-4 years old. Would, you
no,
know,
not a 3,
that
4. Bro. What
capab-
pressures have they got at 3, 4 years
No,
old?
but then
like?
it's
No,
not.
but that's
It's not
when you-
pressure, but they're already molding you to a certain way, aren't they? They want you to be living a certain lifestyle, so they're pushing you towards that at a
I'd say
young
not a
age.
3, 4. Not a 3, 4.
Okay,
It
5,
starts
6.
at a
Yeah,
young
it's
age.
about 7, 8, bro. Like year 7 onwards, 11, 10, 11. I'd say then. Before that is.
No,
I don't see.
we
it,
were.
bro, I
I
don't
was
see it.
reading Quran, all of that at 5, 6, bro.
No, we would do that. We would get mustard and everything.
Yeah, but
like
that's
that,
it, and that's part of it.
So then, look at it like that. Like if you are at that age, you're reading the Quran. Your mind is at that stage where you're understanding, where you can learn different languages, where you can understand. So why can't they try to mold you in the way that you're saying? You're saying it's too young. Why is it too young?
It is too young. It's too
Because
much
that's
pressure
when
for the kid,
that's when
man.
they think. That's when everything's falling. Because what did we used to do, right?
What did we
go,
used to do?
We used to go to school.
Yeah.
From school, we used to go masjid. From masjid, we used to have Urdu classes,
Yeah.
which is another thing that now a lot of children nowadays don't have. They don't speak their own language, the mother tongue. Any like Urdu, please. I got 2 more in my mouth here. This guy, man. No, it wasn't. I got chewing gum here.
Bro, I tried to keep a straight face.
You can never keep it straight.
Bro, I tried to, man. As soon as I looked at him.
We made eye contact.
But you know what I'm saying, innit? Like,
Yeah.
they don't have that understanding of the language, innit? And it's like they don't want to as well because they just want to speak English.
But then parents don't speak, nowadays parents don't speak Apni language anyway with the kids. They only speak in English. So that's when the kid turns out things like, in our house, it's all English anyway, so why shall I speak Urdu? Like, I know, like, kids, when it comes to their grandparents, the grandparents speak Apni Zuban, yeah, they're speaking
Like,
English. You know, ako theek hai, that's it, man. Yeah, that's it,
the
man.
one, innit?
I think in
But what
our
I
time
was
it
saying was,
different.
sorry, but I get that. I get, obviously it's different generation, different times. I get that. But the point that I was making was that we learned all that at a young age, innit? The different languages, how to speak Urdu, Apni Zuban, English. It started at a young age because that's the age that your brain is taking everything in, right? You understand things. Your learning capabilities are a lot more. You're quicker at learning things at that age. So that is why what we're saying is, what you were saying is, they start at a young age where if the eldest son, the father's like a project. That's what you're saying,
Yeah.
innit? Like a project to them. So they would start at a young age.
Yeah,
They wanted to push them in the direction that they want them to go, whether they want them to go towards the deen, the dunya, the doctriness, whatever it is. They will start pushing them at an early age. Like having tuitions and all that sort of stuff. That would start with the eldest child.
Yeah.
But then if the and that starts at a young age, under the age of 10, because whether that's tuitions for Arabic to learn the Quran or it's academics, the dunya ones, whatever it is, it starts at a young age, innit? And then if they see that, hey, don't come easy, move on to the next one. That's what you're saying, innit? Like,
Or they'd be like, nah, it didn't work. Let's leave the next one to do whatever he wants to do.
Nah, sometimes I've seen like they'll be like, yeah, this one it hasn't worked for the.
try again.
Yeah, let's try again.
let's try
Yeah,
again.
you know what I mean? Yeah, let's try
Maybe the
again.
next
Yeah,
one,
the
eh?
next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's just the son as well.
Yeah.
It depends whether it's.
Because what would your take be? Say, for example, there's some families there that haven't got no sons. The eldest daughter, would she have the same responsibilities as eldest son?
I'd say so. Yeah, I honestly say so. Yeah.
It depends on the families, how they are culturally, because culturally some people, even the eldest daughter, they have different aspirations for the daughter and different for the son.
No,
Yeah,
he's saying,
'cause-
but if there's no son, like it's just a family of daughters.
Then they probably would surely at that stage they will start treating one or two of the daughters, one daughter as a son, where they would start Any?
Yeah.
You see that where people start treating the daughter like a son, and vicariously just living through that, any like,
Yeah.
this is my son. Well, would that not mess the eldest child up?
I think this, in my opinion, I think it's like, regardless of whether it's the son or daughter, they both have different kind of responsibilities. Where a son might be pushed more to kind of bring in, like, be the breadwinner of the family, or like have certain
Yeah.
responsibilities or decision making after the father. But then where you looking at the eldest daughter, she might be seen as a parent or guardian, where you got that care side of things, emotional, when obviously your parents weren't there, kind of thing. So they play different roles, but I'd say they both have that pivotal role in terms
But
of.
is it fair? What is it fair for them to have that sort of expectations and making them live a certain way? Because we're talking about the oldest, aren't we?
Yeah.
And do you not think that would have some sort of effect on them later on, whether that's emotional feelings towards their parents, whether that's looking at their siblings in a way of like, I didn't treat you like that. Why you getting the favoritism they have? Would that not have a long term effect on the child?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll come to that stage as well where the eldest child then will not be able to express his feelings as well, because he's grown up in that environment all of his life. He won't be able to express it, and then he or she, if they think they do express it, then in their heads they probably think, oh no, I'm probably being buttermies, I'm probably being disrespectful, I shouldn't say anything.
Or I'm
It's
proving them right.
Yeah, it's just gonna cause more rollout or anything like that. So they tend to not express themselves.
Do you think that would lead to rebellion?
Depends on
Going
what.
against the grain completely and be like, you know what, F this.
I think
Do
for
what I gotta do.
some of them, it's that kind of the way they've been nurtured. Like, you can't show that you've gave up, or you can't say that you need help because you are that support network after us, kind of thing. So a lot of them, when they, even at an elder age or older age, obviously they are reaching, they may need kind of mentally, they might not be there anymore, like
Yeah.
to that level, but then they still won't speak out because of obviously the upbringing, where they feel like obviously they can't speak out because they've been told like, you need to deal with this regardless. It's not okay to ask for help. This is you. That's basically your life now. So a lot of them might not even be obviously open to wanting to discuss that. They just be like, this is what it is.
Would you not say there's some people that would say that isn't the case with the eldest child? Or some people might say the eldest child is the first child, so they get given
A lot more.
more love
Yeah.
and more protection, and it's the middle child that suffers from a lack of.
I personally think it's the youngest child that gets the most of the love and
Middle
affection.
child, they say to the middle child, three's a party, innit?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
three's a crowd. Two's a couple.
Wow!
Three's a party, two's a
Three's a
crowd.
party.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is this
yeah.
guy saying, bro?
Forget algebra, mate. 2 + 2 for you.
The
You know
UK
what I
system.
meant. You know what I meant.
You're saying
Nah,
gets shown the most love.
the youngest child. Yes, I personally believe the youngest child gets shown the most love, because with the eldest child, like he said, is mainly the project, and you know,
It's a tough love.
it's tough love, and then later on they can't express themselves and they find it tough as well. For the middle child, he's not here nor there, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Is that?
Like-
Are you saying the middle child gets like neglect?
I wouldn't say neglect. I wouldn't say neglect. It's just the middle child, he is not, I wouldn't say told, but it's more like try to do what your eldest brother is doing.
So would you say, based on what you
Or sister, sorry.
he's saying and you're saying, the eldest child is the trial and error, right? Like the project child, what they want, that gets passed on to the middle child, as in this is what we want,
But perfected.
But to extent, no, not perfected. Where it gets to a stage where when they get past the middle child, they're like, you know what, forget. We're gonna show the young child. They should just give out love and care and stuff like what they didn't give. Like the tough love was for the eldest child. For the youngest child, it's not tough love, is it? It's more nurture, more sensitive.
I think it becomes like the eldest child gets the tough love, The second one is like, depending if, sometimes it might only be the second one, but then the second one is like, see if he goes that way. It's not as much tough
Yeah.
love anymore, but it's like you said, no, he, that kind of thing. Okay, if he makes it, if he doesn't, chill or whatever. And the youngest is like all love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have freedom.
Yeah.
Basically.
Do whatever they
Do
gotta
whatever, yeah.
But is that because they still have expectations from the eldest child to do whatever they aspire their children to do, and the youngest one just gets the freedom, like, you know what, go wild, go live your life the way you want.
Yeah, I think it all depends on, like you said, how that eldest child kind of obviously, how their life pans out as such. Because if it is obviously they fail with them, then I think that pressure will still be on like the younger ones after that, the kids after that. Because obviously if they're still not being able to get what they want from a certain child, and that is the aspirations they got for the kids, they might still try with the other kids.
I think it all depends on age difference as well.
Yeah.
Between the siblings. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if there's only a year or 2 years between the eldest and the middle, I'd say then the parents would want them two to be like similar. So whatever the eldest child is getting told, the next one down basically the middle one has to do the same, if not better. Like, you know what I mean? And then obviously the last one, like I said, love and affection. Because sometimes there's a difference, there's an age gap of, with the eldest sibling, there's 10 years. You know, let's just say it's 10 years. And then because that eldest child has been shown that much love and affection, tough love, he then doesn't want the same things to happen to his sibling that's 10 years younger.
So the sibling
like-
is now like a protection bone.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
protecting the
100%,
sibling,
100%,
yeah. Okay.
100%.
But then that's the point that I was making earlier on, where I was asking, is it fair on the eldest child? Because that protection that you're saying that comes with the age gap for the sibling comes from, because who you're protecting them from. You think about it, the eldest sibling is now protecting the younger sibling from the parents, because that's how that eldest child. No. Listen. The eldest child has got tough love. The eldest child has been brought up in a certain way to be a certain person, right? So when you're saying they're trying to protect him at a young age, they're protecting him from that tough love. They think the eldest child probably thinks the younger sibling is going to get that same sort of tough love. So they're giving that nature, that protection, that, you know what, I'm going to be there to say to my sibling, it's okay, because there was no one there to say it to me.
Yeah, I get that, but then again, I agree and I disagree.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, they're protecting the younger sibling, not from the parents. So
I'm not saying like that is what it is, but I'm saying subconsciously that's what it ends up being, innit, based on what you said.
It's not more so like, protecting from the parents, because the parents will still be as strict onto the middle child with the elder child as well. Let's say he's just protecting them from, like, look, if you can't talk to the parents, you come talk to me. I'll be there for you. Listen, so I can listen to you. Your problems, any problems you have, you think the parents are too strict, they're not going to listen to you. You come talk to me, and we'll figure it out together.
Do you not think that's trauma though, in a way, for the elder, because the eldest child is now is the stuff that the eldest child has gone through and not being able to speak to anybody about it, and then that you can't speak to the parents, come speak to me. So who you protecting them against? The parents.
No, but then
that's what I'm saying. Based on what you just said.
No. Then I'm gonna say as well. Look, then as the protector as well, I've seen it where the eldest sibling the eldest sibling will then go to talk to the parents on their behalf. And then he gets resolved in that.
But then
way.
It's not
gets
about
the blame?
resolving, is what he's saying. Isn't
Yeah, no, but I still don't think they're trying to protect them from their parents.
No, but that's what it is. That's a form of protection, though. You're just I'm just saying. You're literally trying to, as I'm saying, that the parents are abusing the children.
No, I'm not. Never. No, I'm not. I get, honestly.
It's a form of protection.
I get where you're coming from. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, because he keeps talking, and then I'm trying to talk. Well, I get where you're coming from. I necessarily don't think he's protecting them from the parents or anything like that. It's just, come talk to me. It's easy to talk to me, kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so he understands his sibling. He thinks better than his parents.
Yeah.
But then he thinks, basically, because of the tough love, he's clearly thinking, or he or she is thinking, the youngest one can't deal with what I dealt with.
Yeah.
so
Therefore,
because based on what he, and bear in mind, everything I'm saying is based on what you're saying, right? Is the eldest sibling will then go and speak to the parents. Why does the eldest sibling
Yeah.
need to go speak to the parents? Why can't that younger sibling go and speak to the parents?
Nikke je na.
If they can speak to the sibling, why can't they speak to the parents?
They can't. They haven't got the
So
balls.
the point that I'm
They ain't got the
making,
minerals.
see, the point I'm making here is, and what T just said is a protection from the tough love. Don't get me wrong, right? The elder sibling probably doesn't even realize that the parents are not going to treat the younger sibling the same way that they treated the elder sibling, but just out of a form of, and that's a sibling's nature, is it not?
Yeah.
To be protective over whether it's against the parents, whether it's against another sibling, whether it's against the
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
the world.
definitely.
That's an older sibling's job to be not a job, but that's just nature, innit? To be protective, because you and your siblings might have problems with each other, as many problems as you can. As soon as a third person from outside gets involved, both of you put your walls up. Like, how dare you get involved in our? Do you get what I mean? Because a sibling and a sibling can have issues, but third person outside can't come in and say whatever they want, because that's not
Yeah,
their problem.
100%.
So what I'm saying is, it's a form of protection through, based on what they've gone through, thinking that you, like you just said, cannot go through the same thing that they went through, because you don't know what they went through. A lot of the times you won't understand, and I'm saying you, I don't know why I'm saying you, but like a
No,
younger
he's an
sibling,
example, and he's an example.
yeah,
so
like
go
a
on.
younger sibling doesn't understand the difficulties an elder sibling has gone through until they get to an age of understanding.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what
Yeah.
you were mentioning, where age, when you get to high school, when you start to understand a little bit about how cruel the world can be, that's when you start understanding how the difficulties that your elder sibling has gone through. So when I'm saying your elder sibling is protecting you from your family, from your parents, sorry, I'm not saying they're protecting you from torture and that sort of stuff. Like they're gonna do mad things. Yeah, that's not the case. What I'm saying is, they, in their head, they have that thing that, like Tijo said, you can't go through what I went through.
Yeah.
So let you come to me. I'm gonna, not even you don't have to come to me. I will come to you to talk to you, to let you know that I'm here, I'm there for you. You can speak to me. And then that part of speaking to the parents, that is because in the back of the mind, if he or she goes speak to him, the parents are gonna go mad at him. They can't handle that. Let me go deal with it. Because
Yeah.
then the parents gonna blame? You. You are the reason why this child is saying this. The elder sibling gets the blame, because the elder sibling is the one that's gone and spoke to the parents. Do you get what I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah,
So
100%.
I'm saying, it's that sort of protection, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that arm around the shoulder kind of thing that I will deal with.
it's
with
more,
it.
just a mental
Yeah.
thing, innit?
Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And then sometimes, would you not say, like, the younger sibling would then have that thing, the elder sibling is like, is showing neglect or whatever, he's living carefree, or she's living carefree, she's living a different sort of life than what I'm living, but not understanding the difficulties that the elder child might have had any.
Yeah, I think like I said, it all comes down to the age difference as well. Like the bigger the age difference, you know what I mean. So it's different.
So just to sum it up, right? The elder child, the middle child, the younger child, who do you think would have more trauma as such, more difficulties? Not trauma, difficulties.
I think most commonly it's going to be the eldest child, but it's not to say that there might be some families out there that, because the eldest child has not lived up to what they should, is then passed the buck on to, like, obviously the middle child or even the younger child if they're eldest too, or like that. So it's most commonly, I'd say the eldest child would be the person that's obviously been traumatized as such and being told to hold it together.
I agree. I think it's mostly the eldest.
Yeah, and again,
The others follow suit, basically.
yeah, the eldest. But then, like I said again, if there's like a year, 2 years gap, I'd say the eldest and the middle, both of them.
So just last thing, sorry. So the youngest, so everyone agrees that the youngest is the most nurtured, most loved. Do you not think that's because of the siblings as well?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
their siblings now protecting them as well as the parents.
Yeah,
But sometimes the siblings are
Yeah.
haters as well. They're like,
Yeah.
you. It's like, bro, they hated on him because it's like, you didn't have to do this. I had to do this. So it's like, that might
Yeah.
be more trauma on the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not my fault. You get me that.
But do you think that comes later on when you get
When
to
does trauma start? Trauma can start at any time, right?
Oh, 100%,
So,
yeah, 100%.
you know, so whether it comes later on or whenever it comes, it's like sometimes it's like, I had to do this. You didn't have to do this. I had to, you know what I mean? So it's like hating on the youngies just
Because
because
you-
they didn't go through the struggles that you feel like you went through. But now, because you are hating on them, that's a struggle within itself.
Yeah.
You know, so
Because, like I said, a younger child doesn't. Their reaction would be, "I didn't have a choice."
yeah.
Like I got brought up this way, you got brought up that way. You failed what you were supposed to do, so they let me be me, kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
there is that in it, but so that's that. And the education system, we all agree that education is important. The deen and the dunya, but don't follow that lie of the degree, that piece of paper that you need at the end of it is everything in it. Like experience, if you want to pursue something in life, go out there, work. See a bit of difficulties, like when you're in college, go work early, because then that money management that you mentioned right at the start, that comes from when you start dealing with your own finances, and
Yeah.
you start dealing with your own finances. when you
Working at a
start
young
earning.
age is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
definitely.
matter, you know, if you're studying, doesn't matter how far you go into your studies, you should be working at a young age to understand what life really is about.
I've been Matty.
I've been T.
I'll be nice.
And I've been AK. Thank you very much. We've been the outliers.
T.O. Let's go.